I'm at the MONOFASS trailhead by the Tuolumne area. It's about a mile and a half in from the east gate. And here's where I'm headed. Right here, I think is where I'm starting. So I'm starting out this morning around 10:15, and it's about 44 degrees. This hike is supposed to be about 4 miles into the MONOFASS and about 1,000 feet of elevation gain. It's Saturday and hiking by myself again. I think there should be plenty of other people out enjoying the nice fall day. Okay, well maybe it's only 3.7. I'm still right at the starting. Here we go. Last night I stayed out in Lupine, and that's about 10 miles past the east entrance of Yosemite. And I was kind of surprised at how the road goes down quite steeply in elevation from when you get out of the pass at the Tioga Pass down over there. It probably goes from 10,000 down to 7,000 or less, and it's a fairly steep road. And anyway, it's all the territory around is very beautiful and very interesting. Already coming into some real pretty views. This is going to go through the Dana Plateau before it starts to climb up to the pass at the other side. There's a little bit of frost in the shady areas, so it's definitely fall. And the wind's picked up here. To a little creek. Here's another view of the trail here. You can hear the chickadees. There's a few rocks in the trail, but for me, I think you can keep a pace a little easier when you're not having to do big step ups and downs and around some of the big rocks like I was doing yesterday in the Elizabeth Lake hike. I'm really enjoying walking through these woods also because they're all quite open underneath. The trees are spread out and there's not a lot of brushy undergrowth where I'm used to hiking in Washington. It's quite brushy. It's lush ferns and lots of, 5-6 foot high bushes, woody bushes, and so you can't see the understory. So it's quite nice. Here's another beautiful view through the trees. I don't know the name of that peak at the moment, but I'll try and find it on the map and add it in. The wind has died down and it's peaceful and quiet up here. I've come just over a mile, come to this clearing. I believe that's the Parker Pass Creek. Meandering down through this open area. Still haven't seen anybody, but when I was in the trailhead parking lot, there were at least 4 or 5 people. I thought they started ahead of me. Anyway, No bears or big stuff yet, just a bunch of squirrels and chipmunks. A few birds. One thing I was going to mention was, in preparing for this trip, I tried to learn a little bit more about bears, and I knew I would be hiking by myself, and I found a podcast on NPR. It's called The Wild, and I forget the name of the host, but he loves bears, and he's worked with bears, grizzly bears, up in Alaska. And he had one podcast, it's a series of podcasts, and the one podcast was something like wildlife encounters. And what I found interesting was he said to pay attention to the bear's body language and kind of try to tell you what a bear is thinking, and like this time of the year they're foraging and looking for food, putting on weight for the winter. And the black bears, yep, whatever color they are, they're not grizzlies, they're black bears that I might encounter here. They really aren't going to charge and attack. And we saw one over at Sequoia, a mama bear that was with 2 cubs, and she really didn't mind us, but she held her ground, and we just turned around on the trail and went back. So it really helps with not being afraid to come out here, kind of knowing what to expect and how to react if you come across a bear. So if you're interested, NPR podcast, The Wild. If you Google search it, you should find it. I've reached a trail junction where if you went to the right, you would go over to the Spillway Lake. But I'm going to take the left, and this is the one up to MONOFASS. Let's see how much farther I have to go. Okay, 1.7 to go. Well, Whitney, I know what you'd be telling me if you were here. Drink more water. So I'm trying to pace myself and drink water more often. Now this part of the trail has more rocks and roots. It's getting a little steeper. Well, I've come over 3 miles, so there's maybe 0.6 to go. Stopped to catch my breath a minute. Met 5 other hikers now. One is from Poland, but he lives in Los Angeles. And there are 2 groups of 2. My bug report is green, clear, no mosquitoes. Check the elevation, now about 10,500. Here's the lake right at the pass. The pass here is actually the border for Yosemite National Park. And I took a picture of the badge that I will show. Here's the park boundary. Here's looking back towards the area where it came up through. I think this is basically looking west and west. I had a nice lunch break visiting with Michael from Poland, who lives in Los Angeles now. He's done mountaineering and hiking all over the world, so it's interesting to hear about his experiences and trips and kind of philosophy of things. one of the fun parts of hiking. And here we have a big view of the Mono Lake. I'm going to stop at this point and turn around. Well, my turning around point is about 4.4 miles. And the Mono Lake is interesting, and we found some stuff online about it. They were diverting water and it was becoming too salty. But it's very important to the environment, and they got a foundation together and worked with all the water districts, and now they have a agreeable plan that helps all parties. So that might be something if you're interested. My phone says that the elevation here is 10,600. And when I'm hiking, I guess I have to catch my breath a little bit. But I breathe in my nose, take a deep breath, and it seems to be doing just fine. I just passed the marker that Tioga Road is 3.4 miles. It's fairly warm in the sun and pretty cool in the shade. I don't know what the air temperature is, but when there were lots of rocks back there, I was being mindful to watch out for snakes and rattlesnakes that might sun on the rocks. And one thing that was interesting, there's lots of grasshoppers, and they kind of go click, click, click. So you kind of have to be ready for that. Well, I'm almost back to the trailhead. That was a good workout. About 8.6 miles total. Lots of good scenery. If you're up in this area, I highly recommend this hike, MONOFASS. If you have any comments or questions and you want to leave them in the comment box, I'd enjoy hearing from you. Happy hiking.